right there. You didn't miss much, guys. We're just hopping into Coda right now, so she wanders aimlessly around her room looking for her lost belongings. We'll see you guys soon.
I could hear you.
All right, welcome back, guys. That I could hear you was so just, I could just feel the sass in it. We're in game number 1 of the winners match. It's a best of 3 to determine which of these two will make it out of the group. Rejoice and rest easy, Moosegills and Iaguz fans. Nobody's eliminated from this just yet, but the loser will fall to fight against Kane, and we'll see how that goes. For now, in the top left corner of the map, we have Root Gaming's red Terran player, Iaguz, the Gimli Terran.
In the bottom right, as the orange Zerg, it's Moosegills.
And I'm gonna mute myself to have a coughing fit, so take over.
Oh, damn. I was gonna enter the giveaway real quick. Alright. So, a TvZ. It's maybe the first time we've seen it. Is it? Really? No. Well, does Bly versus Ethermo really count? It was two Raxes in a row.
It was a 2-Rax versus Zerg is what it was. It wasn't Terran versus Zerg.
Yeah, I don't think it really counts. So, as this is not a 2-Rax, this is already going to be a lot longer of a TvZ. I'm looking forward to seeing what Iaguz can show us. I've seen him in TvT, I've seen him in TvP. For some reason, I just don't see him that often in TvZ. I don't know what the deal is, but he plays pretty standard, pretty solid.
A lot of people in chat were saying, you mentioned before Moosegills stats for this matchup weren't so great, and a lot of people were kind of conferring that in chat. Maybe this goes really badly. Maybe it doesn't. I think, though, that Iaguz, regardless of how good or bad Moosegills is, Iaguz is the one I'm looking at for this, because his TvZ has always been pretty on point. Keep in mind, he grew up, I guess, in the C region where everybody plays Zerg. I'm pretty sure 90% of his lifetime games have been TvZ.
Yeah, that's a good point. I remember someone else mentioning that, like during maybe WSS matches or something like that, and I can't quite recall, but that is an excellent point. C has a lot of good Zergs, but Moosegills, it is actually going to be an uphill climb, isn't it? Kind of set the story up right there. He has a pretty bad win record versus Terran, and Iaguz just has a lot of experience with Zerg.
Oh, almost gets the drone. Does get the drone. Nice shots. Of course, I want to remind you all that 3rd and 4th place in this tournament give you $50. So, I mean, Iaguz or Moosegills, whoever wins this best of 3, essentially has won $50 through the tournament. Of course, there's much more potential, 175, 250, etc. So there's, I don't know, not crazy amounts riding on this, but it is like, okay, you're done with the day. You don't have to stress about that finals match versus Kane. And let's be honest, now that Kane's warmed up, he's probably the scariest guy to have in that finals match.
Yeah, now that he's warmed up.
Or we assume he is, at least.
Right, it's still kind of hard to say, really, you know, because the game versus Desro, he did a couple of cheesy things. I don't know, but on his top form versus like Iaguz's top form would have been quite excellent. But this might just go all according to plan. You know, if Iaguz wins, Moosegills will obviously lose because it's the decider match curse.
Oh, I thought you said that's the way the world works. But yes, that is well what you said.
Wow, what a bleak view on the world.
Well, it's gotta be realistic.
It gives you a win and then gives you an even worse loss.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so Iaguz, by the way, I just want to throw out, okay, he's doing some pretty good stuff with the Reapers right now. He's been the king of Reapers when it comes to Legacy of the Void. I'm sure right now he's missing his grenades pretty badly, but I'm not surprised to see him go 3 Reapers and get away with a couple of kills.
Yeah. Moosegills, is he like all-inning, or is he just had to hold off on the 3rd base because he was dealing with 3 Reapers? I mean, 3 Reapers is certainly annoying, but you can usually sneak in a drone considering that they're all on the main base. I guess he just wanted to get these Lings, try and get rid of the Reapers before they got back home, because 3 Reapers in addition to Hellions is quite a lot. It's a nice little health boost.
Those, by the way, for being stuck in a cloud of speedlings and no Reaper grenades to escape, those traded out really nicely.
Mm-hmm. And they're all still alive. This adds so much health to the push. The queens are going to accidentally shoot one of these guys more than a few times if Iaguz is really going to be on point with killing creep. And it's even going to be accompanied by banshees. I think this is like the one way that you, unless the map is super, super good for Reapers, so like Van Eye basically, I think you should always go like, if you're going to go with Reapers, into Hellion Banshee. Just so you have like the super like tough composition.
So we got 2 donations to shout out, by the way. Virgil Hobbs with no name donated $5.55. Thank you very much for that. It is appreciated. But Mr. Filler Buttle, Filler Batole, Mr. Filler Buttle comes back with another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 donation. So $123.45. This guy's been quite generous this month, and he puts that again towards the live event we were raising funds for on Base Trade TV. So thank you very much, Filler. I can't see your name without giggling. I'm fucking 4 years old. All right, thank you, Filler Buttle, for constantly coming back and being a huge, huge contributor.
Thank you. The Banshee's about to pop out. The Hellions are looking for some damage. Fortunately, the Hellion is the one that's targeted. Not what you want when you got 3 Reapers alive. Didn't really go as heavy into Hellions I thought, or he's just missing one. Oh, he has 7. He's just.
It's not missing one, it's just got 1 too many. Like, what?
Yeah, opposite in fact.
Uh-oh, Iaguz, gonna have those people down. That's gonna be a little unfortunate. 2 Hellions not gonna have the best time cleaning this up. Fighting range of the bunker definitely helps, but he does have to bring the army back home ultimately. And this is really unfortunate because 7 Hellions across the map with a couple of Reaper, and not just a couple, 3 Reapers especially. That's queen kills for sure. That's map control.
Yeah.
I'll go lose another Hellion on the side too.
Oh, okay, so 4 Hellions, 3 Reapers, and a Banshee is still quite nice if they're all attacking together. But the Banshee tries to go into the main base, see if he can get some drone kills. I'm not sure Moosegills did any indication the Banshee's on the way. In fact, he didn't, only just opening on a Spore Crawler. Good thing Iaguz checked.
And the layer is so late, too, that the Overseer is going to be quite some time. So just going to pick up the Queen so there's no mobile anti-air. Like that choice. There's 3 Queens over here. Kind of leaving this one to die. Rip.
Yeah, that's a little odd. A couple more drones gonna go down before that Spore Crawler finishes up. I mean, now that they've had time to build Spore Crawlers, all of the bases should be covered for the drones at least. But that Banshee can then pair up with the Hellions if he really wanted to try and do something.
I mean, he's completely shutting down the main with this. The gas mining's not going to be happening anytime soon. How many drones killed so far? 12? I mean, it's been a bit of a rough start.
Yeah, the only thing that could go better for Iaguz right now is if he went off to the 3rd base, you know, got some drone kills and then dipped out. But you do, of course, have to go around the rocks. There are a couple of destructible rock towers, and this rock's already made on this map.
Oh, so tempting to chase that queen. Spore Crawler's right there.
You can try finding other points. Coda does have this little space right here where they can hide.
Does he see the spire with these? He does. Okay, so he's gonna know the spire's on the way, and his time now is fairly limited.
Oh no! Move the Banshees!
Well, move the other way. not that way. Oh, the transfuse at the last second. Not bad, not bad. Moosegills is wrapping around the map to look to harass the 3rd. I mean, he shutting down a couple of mules. That's gonna sting. It's not gonna be the end of the world. With the Hellions right here as well, I don't think he's gonna get too much in there.
Oh, he got 4 more Hellions.
Yeah, I thought this was gonna be mech for a little bit, to be honest, but then we saw those upgrades a little while ago and kind of was like, okay, just delay stim in favor of this weird 1-1 push. I mean, I feel like Terran upgrades aren't, they're good, but they're not dynamic like, say, a Zealot getting +1, right? So this push priority is, it's funny to look at, but this could be really strong. I mean, it is gonna have a lot of Marines that have those upgrades.
Yeah. The Hellbat should come in here and form or the Hellion should come in here and form in a Hellbat to provide the buffer that usually Marauders and Widow Mines would. The combat shields won't be done, and that's a little odd about this push. Usually a push like this would come with combat shields just finishing up, supposed to be like just starting. He's already taking some damage. Marines aren't really cleaned up. Half of them are, I'd say. And they can still transform into Hellbats. There you go.
Well, the Banling's gonna get the connects they need by the looks of it. Nice pop on that last set of the army. I guess normally much quicker to pick up in situations like that, but good hold out of Moosegills.
Yeah, I didn't really like that push from Iaguz. I mean, without the combat shields, that would have been nice, sure, but I thought that was gonna be more creep cleanup, and then he decided, I guess, that he would try and end it. So, he cleared up like this plateau of creep, but the queens are still alive, but it could have been more, I think. And it could have been like an attempt to go into the main, for instance, as well. Oh, that Spire is done. He's getting Corruptors, not Mutas.
This is kind of interesting because we have seen a couple of people actually do this intentionally, just because the Mutas get caught up wasting shots on the Marines, or the A move fragile, all into something stupid. Whereas the Corruptors are pretty sturdy, and they'll focus on the medevacs only. I personally think Mutas are better just because of their speed and mobility, but I can certainly see the use for the Corruptors.
Well, like Dark. People want to say Slayer's Dark, but the SKT Dark goes for Corruptors a lot. It's usually with Roach Baneling, though, isn't it? Like, not just Ling Baneling.
Yeah, I think that's one of the key differences. But do you remember that one game we had, Impact versus Joxy? He accidentally made one Corruptor that totally won him the game?
Yes, of course I do.
So, I mean, like, I've always got a little bit of faith when it comes to Corruptors. You never know what's going to happen. But this engagement not going well for Moosegills. He's already just dying when it comes to the supply race.
Yeah,
Medevac drops in the main once again.
Corruptors just feel like they're meant to be a part of a composition that's really aggressive, like strong and super aggressive. When they're just trying to hold off medevac drops and catch up with the Lings and be try and get a fourth base. I don't know, so far they've been a little lackluster.
Yeah, I mean they definitely have to be pre-positioned too, whereas Mutas are reactive.
Yeah, I don't know if I like I mean, again, I haven't studied this style extensively because I'm not a Zerg player, but
well, you also don't see it much. I mean, again, you quoted
right, you don't
Dark,
see it much either.
I can't think of anyone else to add into that.
Right. So I don't think it works well without those the roaches and the really aggressive attacks into the Terran army. He's very defensive. He's very reactive. Corruptors aren't helping that much. One thing you get from going Mutas.
Oh, that one wasn't so good.
Yeah, it wasn't. One thing you get from going Mutas instead of Corruptors, of course, not only do you get defensive against drops and whatnot, you also get the harassment. They realize if they let you get to 20 Mutas, they're in trouble back at home. Corruptors not so much.
Yeah, it's a strange choice, but so far it's working. It's picking up the medevacs.
Yeah, he's finally getting aggressive.
There's still drops that were going off on the other side of the map too. Should I send that new fourth once again so Marines clear that out? Medevac's just kind of floating around. I mean, Moosegills, honestly, he trades out pretty well. For someone who was down in army supply, he's evened it up, which is nice. But is there follow-through of this? I mean, you can't just leave the Corruptors here. They'll all die to the Thors and the Marines eventually. You don't want to give those away for free. These are pretty expensive.
Okay, they can tank quite a lot, so they're over the Thor for almost the entire part, and they still get out of there a lot.
Thor damage versus non-light units is kind of laughable.
But, I guess he took a bit of a beating right there.
I'm thinking it's like an anime moment, super attack, goes Super Saiyan, huge attack coming, 50 missiles fire out, and tickles Corruptors.
Yeah, that's basically what happens.
Yeah. It's actually focus firing.
Creep.
Oh, that's gonna say the Thor was focus firing the Banelings instead of being on an attack move there. That's actually gonna be really big because the Thor is one of the few things that will one-shot them down. So nice moves out of Iaguz.
Yeah. Still one of the best buffs in Terran history, in my opinion.
Yes. But also, it'd be cool if they were just,
smart.
Sure.
Okay. Well, most of his Marauders did die, and that Thor is one Baneling hit away from dying, so the buffer has been lost, and the creep spread cleanup still isn't that great. It's gotten all the way to the middle of the map. I guess he's not really he's not pushing forward as much as I thought he would be able to. He's still not bad. He's getting a fourth base and whatnot, but I think he's realized that Moosegills is no longer reacting. He's actually being kind of aggressive and is going to try and go for tanks as opposed to Widow Mines. Just because that seems to be an option. Better option against Corruptors.
Right, and with the focus fire he's already shown. Oh, God. This nice. Jesus. Hey. He split them and that still happened, right? I think this actually makes a lot of sense with the way he's playing against the Banelings so far. Using something like a Thor to focus fire Banelings, that's kind of insane. Using a tank to do that, it's going to absolutely annihilate them.
Yeah. That's what people have been doing against Dark, is going into medevac tanks. One of the worst things about tanks is that the Mutas would just pick them off, and then they'd go and regenerate, and they'd always be better. They got a buff from Heart of the Swarm, and tanks didn't. But without Mutas, you don't have to really worry about that. Unfortunately, with the last Widowmine hits, there aren't that many Corruptors left over either. so like he doesn't really have to choose. He can go for either one of mines or tanks. Is he gonna remake anyone? He needs something to kill those medevacs.
Well, I just got another tweet, so we're waiting. Someone else bought a t-shirt. We're up to 231 t-shirts sold now. There's 5 hours and 11 minutes remaining on these shirts, guys. So get them while you can, and thank you, of course, to those who have already bought them. Couldn't be more grateful. Lings are going to cut off some of the reinforcements, which is always a nice feeling, but unfortunately, Iaguz not going to be ignorant about this. Does come back to defend his reinforcement line.
Yeah, the upgrades had finished for Iaguz a while ago, too, so it's been 3-3 versus 2-2. Again, there's nothing to attack air except these queens, so as Iaguz realizes this, he should be dropping a lot more and escaping a lot more, too. Planetary is going to get built. He's even getting some vehicle weapon upgrades. Iaguz does look like he's going to win this game. But there is a moment where Moosegills was looking like he might just be able to kind of win with the momentum.
I still wouldn't write him out just yet, because Iaguz hasn't started doing those crazy drops just yet, right? Like, he's doing these big pushes on the middle map. These are the ones that Moosegills has really been training out well with. I mean, keep in mind, it's so hard to play at a supply deficit, and he's been doing that all game.
It's more that they're on equal bases now, and I guess it's like this huge bank and an upgrade lead. I mean, maybe if he can swamp, and he is swamping right now, and then continue on into the production, he does something. But, like, there's no mutas to help you get on top of that production. It's all going to be about Lings getting through supply depots, which is going to be difficult.
That split on the Lings against those Winter Mines is kind of scary to look at, but Moosegills says once again, even up that supply count on both sides. Planetary is going to be too good to fight with. Corpses of the Lings just go flying all over the map, pushed off the cliffs. And unless Moosegills comes up with a plan B, Lings and Banelings aren't going to be the answer for this. And if he wants to use Banelings into the Planetary, that's way too cost ineffective.
I feel like with his bank and just barely holding on like he has been, although the creep has started to recede, he could have gotten like 10 mutas and started some damage, right? Because like Iaguz hasn't had to worry about missile turrets that much. There's like one in the third base and like none of the natural, and the fourth base is even covered. I mean, like, suddenly 12 mutas when you're not expecting them could do something. Plus, they'd pick off Buddha mines and medevacs like they're supposed to do. Instead, he's just on Ling Baneling, and eventually that's gonna fail.
Once again, Baneling's getting some pretty decent connects. When someone's got Widow Mines and tanks set up like this, you'd imagine there'd be no connections at all, but gets on top of the tanks. Once again, runs through for the Widow Mines. Attacking the north does get cleaned up, so he's not going to be able to cut out the reinforcements, but he pushes back the main force once again. I mean, this is for me. I look at this as crazy. You keep bringing up the topic of Mutilus over and over again, and I'm kind of right there with you on that bandwagon. But Moosegills is making magic happen with just Lings and Banelings. Now, it's not magic where he's winning the game off of this. His drone count sucks. He's getting shredded here towards the third, and he can't deal with the drops. But if Moosegills could play like this with these units and add in element X of, like, I don't know, Mutalisks, or even go towards Hive Tech for Ultras, I mean, I could easily see him dominating this game. But as is, I feel like he's crippling himself by sticking to, like, the purest one of all units.
It might be like the Terran bias or whatever, but I'm less praiseworthy of Moosegills, though it's been, you know, really good play so far, and more, you know, just like critiquing Iaguz, who, like, you know, he's okay. Well, don't lose his content. But he's like, he was really slow in clearing up creep. There's never a point where I was like, oh, Moosegills can't do anything to get control over this map. The creep was always pretty good. He started to have that momentum when he started pushing forward with the Banelings. Iaguz's factory production has been okay. I just it's been certainly a back and forth game, but Iaguz is probably thinking to himself right now. If I'm to guess, and this is just a guess, but like, oh, I should have ended this like 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's a little bit scary though when you start doing a thing where you try too hard to end it and then you start throwing all these engagements.
Yeah, I think this is kind of bit like Iaguz is doing.
Yeah.
Inside like the last 10 minutes, so. Take a chill pill, bro.
How many Lings is this right? There's 108 Lings in play. He's gonna lose chunks of these at a time to tanks and Widow Mines.
Mass Lings do well enough against tanks, but of course those Widow Mines helping out, gonna help.
Nice wraparound from the north side. Iaguz trying to do it again. Hold on, there's a drop in the main. It's a pretty important drop in the main. Picks up that spawning pool. All of a sudden, Moosegills has been making one unit all game. You kill the spawning pool, you kill Moosegills. I think he knows this too. GG. Ladies and gentlemen, Iaguz will take game number 1. Woo! Alright, Iaguz. See if you can bring it on home or if Moosegills will tie it up. We'll get map 2 sorted here in a second.